Assessment question 5. So which expression is equivalent to 1/3, and then we got 4.5 in parentheses minus 1.5 plus 5, and then in parentheses 6.2. So we're going to need to solve for that and then figure out which answer choice is equivalent or has the same answer. So let's first solve for this parentheses real fast. It was 1/3. It was 4.5 minus 1.5. And then we were going to add to that a 5 and then parentheses 6.2. See what we get. Let's do parentheses first. Remember PEMDAS when we do this. As we do, we're going to do parentheses, which is 4.5 minus 1.5. I have a decimal and a fraction. It would actually be best here to convert to decimals when we're doing all this. If you think of 1.5, that's like $1.50, which would be $1.50. So if I rewrite this as 1/3, and it's 4.5 minus 1.5 or 150 plus 5, 6.2. Now this is a little more doable. 1/3, when you subtract 4.5 minus $1.50, we should get 3.0, or just 3, plus 5 times 6.2. Okay, now we have this 1/3 right here, and we can figure it out. We can turn it to a decimal. We can do 1 divided by 3. When you do this, you're going to get 1.0, and you're actually going to get 0.3 repeating. So we can just make it 0.33. So 0.33 right here. When you multiply those together, because we do multiplication next, we did parentheses, we don't have exponents, plus, now we need to do 6.2 times 5. I can do it real small right here, 6.2 times 5. Move it over 1. 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 1. 5 times 6 is 30 plus 1. And I bring it back. It's actually 31 plus 31. And check real quick. Oh, I made an error right here. 0.33 is the conversion. When we do 0.33, we need to multiply it by 3 right over there. So it should have been 0.33 times 3. When you do that, you get 0.99. 33 3 times gets you 0.99. So 0.99 plus 31 should be 31.99, which is just short of 32, a penny short. It's like $31.99. So which option gives us the same answer as equivalent? A says 1.5 minus 1.5 plus 31. Well, 1.5 minus 1.5 is like minus 1.5, which is equal 0, plus 31 equals 31. That's not the same as 31.99 or 32, so not A. B says 13.5 minus 4.5 plus 31. And if we do this one, we're going to have 13.5 minus 4.5 plus 31. And when we do that, 13.5 minus 4.5 is actually 9.0. You subtract the tenths here, and you subtract 13 minus 4. So 9 plus 31 is going to equal 40. So A didn't work. B's not going to work either because it needs to be equivalent to 31.99, or pretty close. C says 13.5 minus 1 1/2 plus 31. And again, we'll look at this and say 13.5 minus 1.5 plus 31. But when we subtract 1.5 here, we should just get 0.12. But we're adding 31 to that. So you think 31 plus 12, well, that's going to equal 43, which is even further away from the answer we need, which is 31.99 or 32. So A, B, C don't look good. Answer is probably going to be D. Well, let's check it out. Let's double check. 1.5 minus 1/2 plus 31. Okay, this is basically 1.5 minus 0.5, because that's what 1/2 is. It's like 0.5 or 50 cents plus 31. When we add all this together, we subtract first. 1.50 minus 50 is basically 1.0 plus 31 gets me 32. Okay, not exactly 31.99, but 32, when we go back to it, is just 1 penny, 1/100th off right over there. So the best answer when we look at all of these is going to be D right over here when we solve. I want you to try to solve this one. You don't need to find out if it's equivalent to anything, but just solve this one 1/4, and then you've got 3.75 or 3 7/75 minus 1 7/75 in parentheses plus 4 times 3.5. Solve this, see what your solution is, and then you'll be able to check your answer. Go ahead.